t-rell. We been going hard like 10 strikes. Niggas claim they inked us, but they numbers ain't looking right. Best go get your people for that real dough. Please believe we got your city buzzing like a dildo. Let's go interior, got your bitch doing a heel toe. Chicks audition in the club like we handing out deals. For real, we in Onyx, bout to order some meals. Up the bills on us, after hours spots the studio. That's what's up, she said you only live it once. I guess that justifies my whip, sitting tall like a Tonka truck. Donald Trump, these haters do me a favor with all this talk of us. We just watch the paper grow around, it's part of us. And we ain't even in it yet. On no source of nigga flow, now watch my pockets do the flex. We been a threat, down the stretch. Get your pen, cut the check, reel it in. Stacks on deck, risk new life for you in this bitch. Yeah, I'm in this motherfucker. And niggas steady hating, so I'm sick of motherfuckers. Ebola flow, I got them sick up in this motherfucker. Now put your twos up if you are that motherfucker. Yeah, yeah, go run and tell them motherfuckers I'm already activated, so it's way too late, too late. I said it's way too late, too late. Don't try to stop me now, I'm already activated. Poker face on it, I don't even gamble. Game face on, so you can call me Rambo. CNC notes, Alicia Keys piano. I'm about to shut this motherfucker down like a scandal. I went from niggas trying to hold me down to running the town at the speed of sound. I can't see the ground, so fucking high. I can't even hide my head bigger than the motherfucking sky. Cause I'm killing these niggas. I deserve the death sentence. I be all over these beats like a jury.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm back in the building for another pod. I'm back up in here for another podcast, man. This is the No News Just Facts podcast, special edition. I'm back up in here to talk about the Drake versus Kendrick Lamar beef. I won't be reacting to anything, like reacting to the actual songs, because it's just like every single person has already gone through that. But I will be like giving like a little rundown of how we even got to this point. I'm not gonna take too much time. I know nobody's watching this. It's almost 2:00. I know ain't nobody watching it, but I'm gonna just give my synopsis of every single thing that has landed in front of us as far as battle testing records that could hurt feelings, so on and so forth. So first we're just gonna like get ourselves familiar. If you don't know who Drake is, if you don't know who Kendrick Lamar is, Drake is a Toronto rapper from Toronto rapper, very famous, with Cash Money, Universal. His style is more of a nod to, before I even like continue explaining, I just want to say that this is going to be an unbiased like review of everything, because I listen to both of them. I do like Kendrick Lamar more because he's lyrical and he's storytelling and he's painting pictures and this, that, and the third. But one thing you do have to remember is just because I like Kendrick Lamar more doesn't mean I don't like Drake, who does the whole, singing and rapping thing, rapping about being outside, strip club, rapping or singing about women, so on and so forth, things of that nature. That's the type of vibe Drake is, and there's an avenue for both of them. Um, you have people who are diehard OVO fans. There's a lot of tribalism with that. Um, I won't say that they're well. You could say that uh, they're diehard Top Dog fans, PG Lang fans. Uh, that's up that's up for debate. That's up to you to decide on your own. Um, I feel like it's just a thing of like that has to do with like when you show Babylon, when you push somebody to the forefront so much in Babylon, people get to start to get tired of seeing the same face, of seeing the same person all the time. The same person's winning all the awards. The same person is at the top of the mountain, so on and so forth. That's really a thing where people are just tired, or there are niggas that don't like uh Drake at all. There are niggas that don't like Drake at all. They're females, which is kind of ironic because that's his core audience. There are females out there that don't like Drake's music. And you can say that on the same spectrum with Kendrick Lamar. One might say, "Bro, he's like way too lyrical. I have to break down too much to listen to his music. That shit is boring." That's what somebody would say if they went and listened to some Kendrick Lamar stuff, and they were somebody who is a heavy Drake fan or just a casual or a rap casual fan. Like his music is too like deep. It's too layered. It's too much like it's like reading a book. It's too much to decipher, too much to break down. And you can bore somebody with all those layers, and then you have to remember that Kendrick Lamar is just like not no ordinary rapper. He's a what is it, a Pulitzer Prize winner, and that's a very prestigious award that's given to like figures in history who have had impact on their generation. So that's the type of artists you're dealing with when it comes to Kendrick Lamar. So, like I said, they both have an avenue for their respective audiences. So, with all of that, getting into how did we even get to this point? How did we get to this point of these two beefing, these two throwing jabs? Say it started with First Person Shooter. First Person Shooter is this song that Drake and J. Cole collaborated on together. And, specific lyrics let you know that it's like they were in the song. It felt like they were, and when I say they, I'm talking about Drake and J. Cole. It feels like they were putting themselves over Kendrick Lamar. And, I'm going to be honest with you. At first, I didn't even get it. I thought it was just a regular song. And then sometime later, here comes, the Like That record. I'm not sure, but I mean, some lyrics can suggest some things, but it's like we as the consumers, we as the people who listen, who are just listening to enjoy the music, are not picking up on that so quickly, So I have the lyrics right here. Let me see, because it's like all over this. It's all over First Person Shooter, First Person Shooter mode. We turning your song to a funeral. To the niggas that say they want off us, you better be talking about working in cubicles. That's J. Cole. Blah 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 blah. Going down. Let me see here. Let me see. We ain't even got the Drake's part yet. Let me see. me go to it real quick. Let me go to it real quick. Okay, so I feel like it starts somewhere. It says, but the difference is it's just two guys playing shit they did in the studio. Niggas usually send their verses back to me and they be terrible, just like the 2-year-old. I love a dinner with some fine women when they start debating who the GOAT. Now, see, this is where I think it actually starts. I love a dinner with some fine women when they start debating about who the GOAT. Go ahead, say it, who the GOAT, who you bitches really rooting for, you know? And then when we get into J. Cole's verse, I feel like it opens up a little bit more. J. Cole's second verse, it gets there a little bit more. See where he says, love when they argue in the hardest MC. Is it K. Dot? Is it Aubrey or me? We the big three like we started a league. Now, see, this is where I feel like K. Dot got offended. And then in a later diss song, no, in Like That, which I'm about to get into now, and Like That, I believe Kendrick says that Drake wanted him on first person shooter, but I guess he settled for J. Cole because he couldn't get Kendrick Lamar. Which I guess in some form or fashion, I guess Kendrick felt weird about that because he's like, wait, you've been sending shots at me forever. Now you want to do a song with me, bro? Back the hell up. So I think that it starts. It probably doesn't start here. I'm sure they've been trading shots with each other for years before this, but I feel like this song directly, first person shooter, is where the beef finally ignites and it erupts beyond what it usually is when, you know, when Drake starts just randomly saying, you know, taking shots without putting names on stuff. That Drake is really good at just not saying anybody's name. Not saying anybody's name and just keeping it where it is. You know, I think Kanye said something about like Drake may not say your name in the verse, but you know he's talking to you. So that's the first big wave we get. And then we get to Like That course, you know, that's where we get the callbacks from Kendrick Lamar, and you know, we start to get hey, this big three you guys speak of, there is no big three. I am the big three. It's just me. I am the big three. I'm not gonna break it down too much, but you know, just referencing, like I said, he's basically saying, hey, listen, it ain't no big three. I'm the one. Y'all either get out the way or get rolled over. You feel what I'm saying? Type stuff, you know? And then, you know, of course, this is how you know he's referencing Drake. He's like, nigga, Prince outlive Mike Jack, nigga bum. For all your dogs getting buried, that's a K with all these knives. He gonna see Pet Cemetery. You know the rest of that. So, and then we start to get like actual diss songs. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Drake doing the push-up song. You know, I can understand somebody who generally loves lyrics being like, man, I don't see it. I don't see myself giving a damn about what Drake said in push-ups, because how do we even know he wrote the damn song? You know, the problem with Drake being considered as a rapper, and this is why I don't consider him as a rapper. I just call him an artist because it's easier to just call him an artist instead of a rapper, because it's easier to take that route instead of calling him a rapper, because then there's a whole bunch of conflicting things that make it hard to call him a rapper. In the genre and sport of hip hop and or rap music, the genre is seeking for authenticity, you know. But when you start to get into mainstream music, when you mix mainstream and attach it to rappers who are on big labels, it's hard to make authenticity and originality align with a rapper who's signed to a big machine like an Atlantic or an Interscope or a Universal, right? And that's why people call Drake a pop rapper. And that's why I call him an artist. Because it's hard to, like I said, it's hard to make all those characteristics I named married together when you're on a big machine like any one of those rap labels I mentioned. You know, you think they give a damn about authenticity? you think Atlantic cares about authenticity, bro? They trying to make money. They trying to sell records. Come on now. An executive producer is trying to get that bonus. They gonna do whatever they need to do. They gonna hire writers. They gonna use AI, whatever. That's why it's so conflicting to even want to pay attention to anything that is attached to Drake that has to do with rap beef. Because he's an artist. He's an artist. He's not, plain and simple. If it could just be defined as that, we wouldn't have to worry about Drake trying to prove himself, because like he's a artist. He's an artist. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. You know? Yeah. Honestly, but yeah, I'm sorry, I got lost on what I was saying, but going through each one of these, I've listened to each diss track. Like I said, we got to like that, and Kendrick felt a way about first person shooter, because it's like I rejected the track, and now you guys go do all that on a song and think I'm not gonna notice it. He addresses that. I don't like that. So push-ups comes around, and like I said, push-ups, man, I'm not gonna lie, I can't even sit here and lie. I was very shocked when I heard push-ups, because at first, you know, people were saying it was AI. That was not Drake. Hearing it, crazy. So push-ups is a it's a 2-verse song that's like, you know, cut off, because, you know, there's another half of the song, so which alludes to it being, you know, more. And in this song, Drake is just going off on, because it's not only, Drake is not just beefing with one person. He's not just beefing with Kendrick Lamar. He's beefing with Metro and Future and Rick Ross and The Weeknd and ASAP and Kanye. Again, it's a lot. It's a lot of people basically trying to take him down, because like I said, he's on top of the mountain. He's on top of the spectrum, and other artists are tired of him. Spectators are tired of him. You know, people who don't like him are really tired of him. So they have devised a plan to go after him. And the whole beef with Metro Boomin was because if I remember correctly, the reason why Metro Boomin and not Future, the reason why Metro Boomin and Drake were beefing, it's because of I think he didn't get nominated for a Grammy for his Heroes and Villains album, but the Grammys nominated Drake and 21 Savage for their collaborative project. And Metro didn't like that, and he voiced his opinion, and Drake and him, go back and forth, yada, yada, yada. We get to Future and Metro Boomin doing a collab album and basically just getting everybody who hates Drake on a song to get on a, not a song, on the project with him, which is just, I feel like that's too much. I mean, like, if you don't like him, that's one thing, but getting everybody that doesn't like him on an album, that's a little weird to me. But hey, you can't tell somebody how to react, I guess. So push-ups, as I stated, push-ups surprised me so much because I was not expecting Drake to get on this like dark-skinned energy. Another reason why people may or may not like Drake has to do with a lot of has a lot to do with his skin color, him being light skinned. Light skins get a lot of hate, especially if they're on top, which the whole the whole light skin dark skin thing is just it's a stupid argument. It's very dumb, had especially light skinned people who are fully black. In this case, Drake is biracial, but he's not the only biracial entertainer that we have. Of course, you have J. Cole, who's biracial as well. But I feel like the reason why he doesn't get called out for being biracial is because he speaks about it a lot. I mean, well, he doesn't speak about it a lot, but he's addressed it before. Drake doesn't really talk about being biracial like that. He just sticks to whatever works in his lane. I'm gonna stick to what I know, and not, compromise that by talking about, my heritage, which is black and white. He's talked about his black side, of course. I don't really hear him saying nothing about being Jewish like that. I don't really hear him saying nothing about that, but hey, you can't tell you what to talk about. But you can't tell somebody like him what to talk about, I mean, and then of course I'm sure he has like record people advising him on what he should talk about, because like I said, he's in a position to be. So going into push-ups, and I'm sorry I'm taking so long to just get the hell through it. Going into push-ups, like I said, he had this dark tone in this diss song, man. And with each Drake diss song thus far is that he keeps addressing everybody. Keeps addressing like everybody who he's beefing with. Let me see here. Let me see if I can like pick a line out of everything here, because he has a lot. It's a lot here. Yeah, this, of course. What the fuck is this? A 20v1 nigga? What's a prince to a king? He's a son, nigga. Get more love in the city that you from, nigga. Metro, shut your whole ass up and make some drums, nigga. I actually like that line. But yeah, man, this push-ups song was initially very, I rocked with it initially, and this is basically the song that Drake used to just like play games and amp Kendrick Lamar to drop, because he didn't really drop no diss record up until he hadn't dropped anything besides the like that, the verse on Like That. So for some time he had it. Drake had the upper hand. He even went as far as like, referencing stuff like push-ups has to do with like Kendrick Lamar doing push-ups, doing prison push-ups outside, listening to soul music or something like that. There's a video of that somewhere. So that's what the reference of the name of the song is. So for some time, I had to sit up there and wait. And then let me see if I can find it, because he had to take it down. Drake put out another record. In which he used AI to basically taunt Kendrick Lamar, and he used AI to, used like a Tupac AI and a Snoop Dogg AI to just taunt Kendrick Lamar into dropping some music. One thing about it is I really was like, man, maybe Kendrick Lamar is probably just gonna leave this alone and just drop an album and respond on an album, because I read that somewhere. Because I'm like, man, for him to go use Tupac AI, one thing I don't ever want to hear again in my life is a Drake cadence on an AI Tupac. I don't ever want to hear that again in my life. Like I said, I'm being as unbiased as possible, but I'm just keeping it real. If there's anything I don't ever want to hear in my life again, is a Drake cadence on a Tupac AI. Never again. Never again. The lyrics, Tupac's lyrics and Drake's lyrics don't even are like they don't even talk about, like, Tupac didn't talk about the same thing as Drake. So it's like, why? Why? I that's, if there's anything I didn't like about this tailor-made freestyle diss track against Kendrick Lamar, is that Tupac AI stuff. I would have rather Drake just keep it at him just putting out another diss track and just keeping it at his own voice. But I get the mind game he wants to play, because Tupac and Snoop Dogg are West Coast powerhouses that are like that are worshipped in the West Coast. So why don't I just take two of the biggest rappers from the West Coast and just use it to taunt Kendrick Lamar? And he dropped this on April 19th, and next thing you know, April 30th, Kendrick Lamar said, "It's time. The time has come." He dropped Euphoria, and man dropped a nuclear missile. Dropped a nuclear missile, man. Goodness Lord. I don't even want to go through the whole entire thing, but just just to quote some things, he says, yeah, Cole and Aubrey know I'm a selfish nigga. The crown is heavy. I pray they my real friends. If not, I'm YNW Melly. Ugh, goodness. I don't like you popping ish at Pharrell. For him, I inherit the beef. Yeah, F all that pushing P. Let me see you push a T. You better off spinning again on him. You think about pushing me. He's Terrence Thornton. I'm Terrence Crawford. Yeah, I'm whooping feet. My goodness. After he put out that, I was just like, man, let the games begin. Let the games begin, man. You would have thought after Kendrick Lamar put this one out, he just, kept it safe and just went slow. Nah, this man proceeded to put out what is it? He put out Euphoria. He put out Euphoria on the 30th. Then he put out 616 in LA. I wasn't really privy to this one. I wasn't really a fan of this one too much because in the beginning of it, it just felt like he was just, it was a regular song in the beginning. He didn't really get to like what he wanted to, address as far as Drake goes. So he drops, so follow me. Euphoria on the 30th. May 3rd gives us 616 in LA as a way to taunt Drake because Drake does the timestamp stuff in which, he picks a random place and just puts a time on it. And that's the title. So he just basically just did a Drake, pulled a Drake and did a timestamp type song. So that's Euphoria, 616 in LA. What is it? Then, I believe, what is it? It's Euphoria, then 616 or wait. What am I saying? Did he, cause after, no. What am I saying? Before that, Drake dropped Family Matters. And man, let me tell you something. He was going crazy on this song. He's going crazy on the song from the video where Drake is having the good kid, Mad City van crushed. Very very strategic stuff. Very 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 strategic stuff. The good kid, Mad City van being crushed to him going to the restaurant that was referenced in Euphoria, where he's talking about New King Ho. He's going there and he's actually eating the meal that he referenced, Kendrick Lamar referenced in Euphoria. I be at New Ho King eating fried rice with a dip sauce. He went there in the Family Matters video. It was very, very, very strategic, very strategic. And while all this is going on, it's very, hey, like I said, he did 3 beat switches on this Family Matters thing. I can't lie. It was not bad. Not bad at all. The problem with this Family Matters track is that this is a fire song. This sound like it goes stupid in the club. But we're not looking looking for the club. You feel what I'm saying? We're not going to the club. We're looking for bars. And that's the problem here, And then I think I forget something. Like the things I'm leaving out are like what is it? I'm leaving out the Kanye West Like That verse, and I'm leaving out Champagne Moments, the Rick Ross thing. It's Rick Ross is just a side beef. He's a side beef. He's not even the main course. So Drake because it's too much to follow. But yeah, Family Matters, definitely a good song, definitely a banger. But like I said, he's talking to Kendrick, but he's not talking to Kendrick alone. He's still on this, hey, let me talk about everybody. He's not like positioning himself to just talk about Kendrick. He's still veering off and talking about everybody. Still talking about everybody. He's not centering this on Kendrick alone. So if there's anything that I have a gripe about with this Family Matters song, is that it's a song that's not directly pertaining to one person. It's the only thing I don't like. That's the only thing I don't like about it. And then I think after that, yeah, okay, I was right. So Kendrick drops 616 in LA, and then Drake drops the other half of what is it called? This is basically the other half of what is it called? The other diss song, basically. This is the other half of Push-Ups, the song that gets cut off at the end of Push-Ups. And there's 3 beat switches. So it's still like in the first verse, it's still like basically Push-Ups again. And then it switches to and then it switches into another beat and verse. And then he switches it up again for another beat and another verse. So it's everything together was pretty good strategically. But at the same token, it wasn't directly to Kendrick. So good track. Sounds like something you would hear in the club, but we're not looking, like I said, I'm not looking for the club. I don't think anybody's looking for the club in this situation. We're looking for the automatic and direct dissection of Kendrick Lamar from Drake. And I don't think we got that. That's not what we got here. We just got a nice beat. Him actually rhyming, him actually, being in Drake rap mode. And then after that, as if you would think like it would be done. You think Kendrick Lamar would take a chance to just rest. He said, hell no, screw that. Right after, like literally, like maybe 20 minutes after Family Matters dropped, Kendrick Lamar said, I'm on that. I got you, bro. He turns around and drops Meet the Grams, in which this is just basically Kendrick Lamar alluding to Drake having a second child, and just going into all this stuff. Like he's really taking the time to just take like a pin and just pop that balloon that is Family Matters. So, which, all of the like Drake's accusations against Kendrick Lamar is just like, oh, he's a woman beater. And his kid isn't his. That's up until this point, that's what I'm getting from him. And of course with Kendrick in this song, he just, about this is just basically centered around him talking to Drake's son, Drake's mom, and Drake's dad, and basically, the alleged second child of Drake. Which not a bad, like, bro, he literally just stepped on Family Matters with the song. Stepped on Family Matters. Thought it was a good track. And then after that, you would think he's done. Wait, let me go back. The release of Meet the Grams is on the 4th. Meet the Grams was released on the 4th, right? No, wait, I'm sorry, the 4th. No, I think it was released on the same, like, it's the same day. I believe it's like May 2nd or May 3rd. They're both released in the same time span, basically. And then after Meet the Grams, we get to Not Like Us. Oh man, and this is the one I was not expecting from him. Not Like Us is just a genius thing. So the cover, first of all, Like Us, the single cover is Drake's what is it, embassy home in Toronto, right? With a whole bunch of like sex offender, those little sex offender tags, those offender tags or whatever you want to call it, at the top of the house. It's crazy. That first of all is already crazy. So Not Like Us is just basically like a dance song, like this California West Coast homage to the Bay slash homage to the Bay slash, you know, Drakeo the Ruler, rest in peace. And he just proceeds to go in, and every single time that Kendrick has made a diss song, it has been directly about Drake. And basically he just goes in and you know, calls Drake a culture vulture, you know, says, why are you not addressing the things that are going on with your camp, the people in your camp? Why are you not addressing that? And then, you know, of course he's calling him a ped, of course, because of, you know, certain things that have been seen online, or, you know, stories that have been typed up, or even anything that from any person in his crew that has done something like that has to do with that. So very catchy song. And I never thought I'd be here saying that I never thought I'd be here saying that there is a such thing as a catchy diss song. But yeah, this is a catchy diss song. The problem with Drake beefing with Kendrick Lamar is that Drake underestimated, like, I don't know, like he does it. It's like, this is not Meek Mill. This is not Meek Mill. This is not Kanye. This is a lyrical rapper who is not just, you know, he can do other things instead of just being lyrical, you know. I think about all the other times that Drake has beefed with a actual like rapper, like Joe Budden, for instance. Joe Budden did the same exact thing, releasing song after song after song, to the point where it's just like Drake never even gave it any attention for real. And Budden was just dropping songs with Drake not having a response for any of it. Right? Pusha T. It only took one song to just put the dagger in Drake's heart, you know? I don't get how like people think that just because Drake, and at the end of it all, like looking at each and every song, and there's like one more song. Like this Not Like Us song, banging, a banger. DJ Mustard produced it. Soundwave produced it, bro. Banger. A banger diss song. It's crazy. Kendrick Lamar dropped a banger. And as somebody, like I said, as somebody who listens to him in which he's lyrical, he doesn't really do these type of songs like that. I was very, very shocked. I'm like, oh, okay. He's versatile. He can be versatile. Another thing is that like after Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, I thought I was never gonna hear another project from Kendrick Lamar, let alone another song. That's why I had told somebody who's a Drake fan that like, man, this literally all could be like orchestrated and planned. Like they could literally be texting each other while these songs are dropping, which it like it wouldn't make any sense. In one way it would make sense because like this is helping Kendrick Lamar. Because, you know, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was, what is that, last year? He dropped that last year. And, you know, like I said, he's a deep, introspective rapper. And some people, you know, don't really get into his music because it's just too much. Too many layers to peel back. It's too many things to go back and catch. Just like the all the diss songs that he's dropped, you literally have to go and listen to it 3 and 4 times. You have to get on Rap Genius just to figure out what, like, why the hell did he say this like this, or what was he trying to like? You have to literally connect the dots because he's a very introspective rapper. But this, like I said, this is very good for Kendrick Lamar because we're getting music from him. I thought I would never get music again from him because he's, you know, he basically retired after his last release, his last studio album. You know, I thought he was done. You know, I thought he was just gonna be like an A&R for PG Lang and just keep it at that, you know. But sometimes other great players have to bring that type of momentum out of, you know, one great player has to bring out the best in another great player. And that's what we're looking at here. That's what we got here. So Not Like Us, a bop, a banger, something I didn't expect from Kendrick Lamar. And then after that, we get one more response from Drake, which would be The Hard Part 6. You already know where that's going. That's a play on Kendrick Lamar's The Heart series, which makes me wonder, like, since Drake called his song The Heart Part 6, is Kendrick just gonna call, if he ever does another Heart, is he gonna call it The Heart Part 7 or what? Like, I don't know. Throughout this last song that Drake did, because I feel like this is the very last song and he's done. He's done. I don't think he's doing any more music because like he, after Not Like Us, I don't think there's any coming back. I don't know if there's anything you can do to even, like, you know, the public has spoken in favor of in favor of Kendrick Lamar after the last song, and just all the songs together that Kendrick has released. Like, from Kendrick almost released like 5 songs, and Drake only put out like what, 3. We'll call The Hard Part 6 4 songs, and it's not about it wasn't about, like, everything had to do with timing. Like, I don't like the fact that, like, OVO diehards are like still trying at this point in time to, like, still call Kendrick Lamar a woman beater and all this other stuff, man. Like, dude, just take the L. He lost. Just take the L. He lost. It doesn't, just because he loses a rap battle doesn't mean he's not still an incredible artist. It doesn't mean he's still not gonna go and do tours, and it's not like it's not his tours aren't still gonna be sold out. It's not like he's still not gonna have the same streaming numbers that he's always had, because he is at the top of the heap. He is a picked, he's a $400 million man that the industry really chose. So it's like nothing's going to change that. He's still going to be regarded as a great by a lot of people. I mean, like I said, I have my own thoughts about him. I have a love-hate relationship about him as a being considered a rapper, but that's my own politics. So here in the Heart Part 6, he basically addresses the allegations against him about being a ped. And in this song, it just sounds like he's defeated. He just does his best to just go back into the wife beating, the spousal abusal thing with Kendrick Lamar. Let me see here. Yeah, he just really sounds defeated, and trying to explain the whole thing, and then it doesn't help that after this song comes out, like a day later, the video of like him being on stage with like a 17-year-old, the woman who is now 31 years old comes out and says, hey, listen, that video was innocent, and it meant nothing, even though people are trying to like generalize it and turn it into a thing of like, yeah, bro, Drake was like 23, 24 years old with a 17-year-old on stage with him. His team picked her out, and it was she's saying that it was harmless. And then there's another woman that came out and said, hey, whatever rumors that are going around about him, he didn't do anything. Which it just looks like, which is weird. They both come out on the same day. It just looks like damage control on the part of OVO, because of the ped allegation and stuff coming out about him. Of course, people on the internet like to be detectives and stuff. So, let me just get into a couple of lines on here that he said that were just like, whatever. Let me see. Yeah, like I said, he's still coming up with the Whitney being, Whitney being abused thing. It's Kendrick Lamar's lady. What does he say? Oh yeah, he says basically the information about him having a daughter was like fake. I gave you fake information, and you were so hungry to put it on a record without actually like checking, which is dumb, because like, why, like if you gave him false information, there's like a line somewhere in here where he was like, all the, let me see, hold on. All the information I gave, all the information you got was fake, which I gave. I basically gave you that information. Um, I gave you that information, and the funniest thing here, he says the one, my Montreal Connect stand up, not fall down. The ones that you're getting your stories from, they all clowns. But if they're all clowns, if Drake, if you made up the story, first of all, you're basically calling yourself a clown. That's first of all. Second of all, it would have been nice if, like, for a cover, for cover art for this song, you would have just put up screenshots of all the misinformation from the sources that Kendrick Lamar got his sources from. Like, it would have been nice if you would have just put up the screenshots of that, because it makes you, it doesn't put you in a good light if you just say that, hey, I made up the story, but don't like post the receipts. That would have been nice. That would have made it look like, oh yeah, he, Kendrick Lamar wasted wasted songs on this man. But yeah, that doesn't look good on your end. And then what else? Oh yeah, and okay. So towards the end of this song, the outro is what this is what really puts the nail in the coffin. For me, at least, as a listener, listening to him, like, he really just like sounds just out of it. He sounds tired. He sounds done. He sounds over it. So he says, this is the outro. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. This shit was some fun, some good exercise. Like, it's good to get out, get the pen working. You would be a worthy competitor if I was really a P and you were effing lying to every blogger and editor. But it is what it is. You definitely got this ish burnt the F out, though. Like, you got 10 more records to drop. One before the last, we finessed you into telling a story that doesn't even exist. And then you go and drop that West Coast one and try to cover that up. I would like that one. That W. That would be some ish I could dance to. Sounds like he was mad he didn't make a dance song. Weird, but if you wasn't tripling down on some whole other BS, but at least your fans are getting some raps out of you. Exactly. That's true. I'm happy I could motivate you, bring you back to the game, like, but just let me know when we're getting to the facts. Everything in my ish is facts. I'm waiting on you to return the favor. You can't tell me, as somebody who's a listener of just rap in general, like, me reading it doesn't do it justice. You have to hear the way the whole entire song sounds with him, the way he sounds. It for the most part in this song, it just sounds like there was nothing else for him to get after with Kendrick. And Kendrick alludes to that in a previous track where he's like, bro, I'm sorry I'm boring. I don't have anything, like, I'm sorry I'm boring, and I'm sorry you wasted, like, I'm sorry you put money out in the streets and nothing came back. I'm boring, I'm sorry there's nothing for you to get on me, but you know what I'm saying? There's nothing for you to get except for you to say that one of my what is it? Affiliates and managers, I guess. Dave Free is, the real father of my children, which is, a crazy thing to say more than once on other diss records. So weird, but I could also say the same thing about some of the things that Kendrick said, you know, and everybody keeps talking about, oh yeah, the truth. One of my friends, like I said, is a big fan of Drake, and he's like, he said that Kendrick got to tell the truth. Like, whoa, buddy, hold on. If Kendrick has to tell the truth, Drake has to tell the truth too. There's a bunch of things that Drake did not address in this vast diss record that he put out. He did not address the Baka Not Nice stuff, you know. He did not address anything that had to do with him being a colonizer, because that's a big thing. It's a big thing for him to raid the culture of Houston culture, of Memphis culture, of Miami, Florida's culture, New York's culture, and wear it like it's a medallion and take it off when he's ready, you know? How come Drake hasn't done any, like Drake likes to do these stimulus packages, right? How come he doesn't get with a up and coming Houstonian artist? Like why haven't we gotten a Texas rapper or singer that you know that we don't know? Why haven't we gotten something from Drake that has to do with a Texas artist? But he love coming to Houston and using the culture, you know? That's something that somebody would say. He loves using Memphis culture to you know, make himself look big. Pause as far as as an artist. As far as what about Miami? You know, yeah, he's big friends with DJ Khaled. What about like the artists out in Florida? Why he ain't doing nothing with no local talent in Florida? But he got all the time in the world to be with the big artists and doing stuff with them. Just doesn't make any sense. But winding down here on this whole entire thing, like I said, this was good for Kendrick Lamar, in my opinion. Very good for Kendrick Lamar to put out music, because, like I said, I thought he was done making music. Thought we would never see this man again, just off the strength that, like, you know, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was basically his last project. But like I said, it's good. It's good that we got music from him. Very good that we got music from him. Drake woke a sleeping giant. In the aspect of Drake, this my opinion. I've kept it as biased as possible, but bro, I gotta keep it real. Drake lost. Drake lost this one, man. He lost just because he kept, like, after push-ups, he should have just stopped focusing on other entities in that were beefing with him. Forget about Metro, forget about Rick Ross, forget about all of them. Later for all those people. Kendrick Lamar is who you need to be focused on. I can say that the only track that felt like he was just really focused on Kendrick was but well, yeah, I'll say Taylor Made felt like it was focused on specifically Kendrick Lamar, and that's what he should have just kept doing. Should have just kept doing that. Don't veer off into The Weeknd or ASAP Rocky or none of that. Just stay on your op, who is the Gemini from the West Coast. He should have did that, but he didn't do it. Didn't do it. He like I feel like he thought that Family Matters would have probably, would have did some sort of damage. He felt like I'm sure he felt that Family Matters was gonna do some type of damage, but as soon as that man dropped, like 20 minutes later, it's just like, okay, I don't think I have anything else I can do against this guy, because he's gonna keep on releasing more and more and more and more records. I'm sure Kendrick Lamar has 20 records, 40 records, 50 records stored up that release anytime. Like, bro, he released a whole EP. I'm very shocked that, like, well, it's a good thing he didn't put out another record after the Hard Part 6, because it's just like it sounds like it just sounded like Drake was like defeated and waving the white flag. It's just like, man, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. You have like out-rapped me. You've out-rapped me, and my team ain't helping me none. There's nothing else I got on you, so I'm gonna bow out gracefully. So that is basically it. Heart Part 6 is Drake waving the white flag in this epic battle. It's not my type of rap battle though. I mean, I grew up watching 50 Cent go against Ja Rule and just basically destroy Ja Rule at any chance he had, But, these are different times. Rap isn't supposed to just stay in the same vein for a long time. It's a young man's game, and it's the plight of rap music and or hip hop music is not gonna go with the old people. It's gonna stay with the young people. For sure. So that is it. That's the end of this pod, man. Hopefully y'all enjoyed me talking, or maybe you didn't. Maybe you got something to say. Put it down in the comments, whatever you got. Watching, I appreciate you. If you are not watching, that's fine too. I don't give a damn. But yeah, that's it. Y'all take it easy.